Farmers' protests rewrite the rules to stop this cycle of agrarian distress. Why Indian agriculture is facing a wider and deeper crisis. Where are the roots of Indian agricultural crisis? What steps should be taken to end agrarian crisis in India? How to revive agrarian economy. GS Paper 3, Issues related to agriculture. What is the context about? The farm protests in Madhya Pradesh that left 5 people dead this week is symbolic of a wider agrarian distress engulfing India. Farmers are demanding loan waivers and remunerative prices for all crops, many of them encouraged by Uttar Pradesh's decision to write off loans given to small farmers. Why Indian agriculture is facing a wider and deeper crisis. Agrarian crises keep repeating because successive governments have been treating agriculture as a source of votes and not an engine of growth. The growing economic and social disparities between agriculture and the rest of the economy and between rural and urban sectors. The 45% rural-urban wage gap shrunk the share of farming in GDP to under 14%, although more than half of India's 1.25 billion people still depend on it. The long-term growth trend in production and productivity of agriculture may actually be slowing down. Where are the roots of Indian agricultural crisis? There is a widespread perception that the agrarian crisis is more or less an outcome of natural calamities like drought, which no one can fight. Governments over the years have used this misperception in their favor to hide their inefficiencies in problem solving. In fact, until the late 80s, governments continued to deny that a crisis even existed in the agricultural sector. However, the agrarian crisis doesn't begin and end with farmer suicides. Farmer suicides are just an extreme outcome of the agrarian crisis. The time has come to scrutinize the impact of LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization, reforms on Indian agriculture and thus the economy as a whole. What steps should be taken to end agrarian crisis in India? Shifting public investment towards modernization of surface irrigation works, to facilitate higher yield per unit of water used, and for watershed development. Prioritizing incomplete irrigation projects after strict cost-benefit analysis and monitor implementation. Limiting government's role to laying down the broad principles and institutional framework. Enforcing better preventive and punitive measures to contain gross violations of rules governing access to and use of resources. Conducting a critical review of the research system in public institutions to make it more effective. Changing policies relating to pricing of yield and input to avoid waste. How to revive agrarian economy. Farmers are the real providers of food security to everyone. Steps should be taken to remove the middlemen between the farmers and consumers. This would ensure price stability of the essential commodities and the burden of increasing price would be eased on both the farmers and consumers. Nationwide steps must be taken in order to protect farmers from private money lenders who follow highly exploitative practices. To achieve this, the government needs to create awareness among rural populations about new schemes and their rights. Unless the rural economy is unshackled from a time and policy warp, our dream of double-digit economic growth will remain just that, a dream. The way forward. The agrarian crisis needs to be handled with a human touch. Lakhs of farmers have committed suicide, and those who failed in these attempts have been imprisoned under the law. This shows the collective failure of both the society and the state. The time has come to ensure that no farmer is pushed to the brink, because human lives matter above all.